Hey guys, Franklin here. So, before you listen to this episode, we thought that our divergent topics would be a lot more obvious, but upon a second listen, they aren't. And we don't want to just spread a bunch of fake news and fake history. So, don't listen to anything we say this episode, I guess, is my message. But you can enjoy it. And we're restructuring our format, and we'll get back to you next time with better facts.
Stop shitting in your eye.
And that is how the third episode begins.
We're starting?
Oh, by the way, you still haven't come up with a DJ name that...
Fuck them.
Oh, fuck. What
Just
are our names?
fuck 'em.
DJ
It's just
fuck 'em?
names. We should just use our normal names.
I can't do that. I gotta be anonymous.
Okay, your first name is boop. So, I mean,
We'll call you
can...
Schmeegan.
I'm okay with that.
Schmeegan. Okay, we got Dr. Schmeegan.
Doctor,
No, he's not doctor.
a minister.
Minister
It's
Minister
it's
Schmeegan.
a podcast. You use your normal name in a podcast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
you
Mr.
just don't say your last name.
Mr.
Yeah,
Pyramid.
you're just Pyramid.
Mr. Pyramid.
People are
God
going to think
damn
it's
it.
like a fucking Silent Hill reference or something.
He's expert witness.
Yeah.
And what's your name, sir?
Dan. My name is Dan.
Dan, okay,
I'm just
Dan.
Just
Good. Okay, so you're going to be the other one that's going to just have their regular first name
Yes,
like me. Okay.
Use our name.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm still
My name is
Schmeegan.
Nick.
As long as you
Schmeegan.
don't say anything too troubling, or I will edit it out.
Franklin
Well,
will.
Franklin will.
Franklin will edit it.
Frank-
Thank you for joining us tonight, Franklin.
I hate Franklin. He's such a jerk.
Fuck Franklin.
Well, he does dynamite
He
work.
cut you out entirely.
Weird blank spots throughout the entire podcast where just Dan can't be heard.
Whenever Dan opens his mouth, it's just dead air.
Now I'm gonna make a point here, and
And what is it?
that's it. Got edited
You
out.
gotta
Oh,
make-
it got edited out. Oh, no.
Yeah,
It's a little too raunchy.
Yeah, it was.
Can we
we can just fucking go. I
can we
guess.
address the topic at hand? The elephant in the
Yes,
room?
finally, Zoroastrianism. We're doing it tonight,
we
ladies and
recording?
Oh,
gentlemen.
we're recording.
Yeah, we've
Yes,
been
it's
going.
recording.
Oh my god! I thought we were gonna have a starting point.
I said we're starting.
You said that
did.
like 3 times, like half an hour ago.
It is my job as the MC to judge
wait,
when.
wait. Was that introduction that we did just a moment ago, or
Yeah,
actual
that was introduction.
That was
Well,
our
that's all the time we have today, folks. So, as always,
If you want more, subscribe to our Patreon.
brought to you by Silent Cheese.
We won't tell.
Eat the meat.
Oh my god! All right.
That's a thing now. That's an inside joke we got going.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you build your brand. Just a lot of inside jokes.
I guess
Yeah.
that does make sense.
What if we actually do make a brand called Silent Cheese? We actually
I really want
start
to.
making cheese.
I
And
really
it's
want
just
to.
called Silent Cheese. We start selling it at the co-op.
Yeah, it's got the picture of the cow in the half profile, slightly turned in.
And just
the
a
hand.
human hand.
I'm pretty sure.
Snout.
I'm pretty sure cheese is pretty hard to make because normally milk just goes bad.
Yeah,
there's
but
a whole
here's-
extra steps involved.
Well, no, here's the thing.
and-
Well, I
If
mean,
I've learned anything from whiskey, it's that the way you make whiskey is you just buy whiskey and put your sticker on it.
fair enough.
That is how
that is
most
so
whiskeys on
silent
the shelf
cheese.
happen.
Okay,
Wait, hold
all
on.
right.
So it doesn't come from different distilleries in Scotland or Ireland. It just
Well, it depends. So I'm specifically talking about bourbon, but also yes.
Oh, okay. So
also,
there's
yes.
just a couple of warehouses that make all of it, and then they're we got top shelf, we got mid shelf, we got low shelf.
Yeah, well,
We,
Johnny Walker.
you buy it from us, and then we slap then you can slap your fucking label on it.
Yeah,
pretty
like
much.
Johnny Walker. They're not here's the whiskey we made. What they do is they go around, they go to Talisker, they go to wherever else. I can't remember all of them. They go
Oh,
to,
well, I mean, if they
go
went to
to 4 or
Talisker, then they
5
were like, "Oh
different-
my God, we got your drippings."
Yeah,
I got a
exactly.
question. I got a question.
And then they're like, "Oh, let's all mix them in together," and black label.
Can I ask my question?
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
What if the story of Adam and Eve doesn't end with the consumption of an apple?
Whoa, tell us more.
Oh my god.
There's
No
already
way.
much debate of what if it was a grape, but there's another fruit that is equally as erotic, the pomegranate.
The really
You're
annoying
not,
one.
You're not wrong.
You're not gonna have more reaction on that? I expected.
Well, the pomegranate, that's the one with all the
That's
little tiny
sexy.
seeds in
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
it's erotic. I wouldn't call it sexy.
Or
Well,
there are
I-
those people that have that phobia
Sliding
of
scale.
porous
Slide.
flesh things. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You know, there's
No.
ugly
I
fruit?
don't know.
No, not the ugly fruit. Some people have that phobia where, they might have boils or blotches on their skin, or they see a texture that's very porous and organic looking,
Yes.
and they get really skeeved out by it.
Yes.
There's a phobia of it.
Okay.
It is.
All right.
Reddit's gonna come to
He's-
my
he's
rescue one
right.
day.
I mean, I'm sure he is. I don't quite know what that has to do with the sexiness of a pomegranate, but
I'm
Oh
just
yeah,
making
I
the
forgot
counter.
about that.
Yeah, I'm
that's
just
what we're
making the
talking
counter
about.
argument that like a pomegranate might not be sexy to everybody. It might be terrifying.
it's a pretty easy argument to make. You just have to say probably not everyone is aroused by a pomegranate.
You know, that's also true. That
Yeah.
that could also work.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to continue.
What are we talking about?
I'm trying to
Zoroastrianism.
segue.
Right.
Who led to this cover-up of this myth that would disenfranchise equality for women, and more importantly, the apple? The story dates back to the original religion, the founders of the fruit.
Could you get closer to the microphone?
No.
When you're talking.
Because...
You're kind of low.
Am I low?
A little bit.
Do we have to do that whole thing over?
No, we do not.
No, we're not fucking doing
Okay.
that over. Keegan's number what? Your number what? Fucking one?
Yeah,
One,
he's one.
baby.
Okay.
Juice it.
Okay, is that better, Mr.
That's a
Nick?
little too high. Take it back a little bit.
Unjuice.
Unjuice it.
This is live.
There
on
we
the-
go. Okay. We're good.
Welcome to our process. Franklin, leave it in. Let it roll.
Zoroastrianism is one of the world's oldest religions, dating back to 5th century BCE. And
So it's
Wow.
old. That's old as shit. That's older than my grandmother. And she's
Yeah.
dead.
That was just documented. Because
Yeah.
guess what? I also did research.
We all, yeah. We all know exactly what Zoroastrianism is about.
Absolutely.
And let me see my notes.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
can't find where it says on my notes. Oh, fucking maybe as old as the second millennium BCE.
That's it. That's
what,
all.
what would you say? The first word?
The second millennium BCE.
No, what was the first word?
Maybe as old as?
Oh, I thought you said Azul.
No.
Okay,
That's some
What's
old
going
Azul.
on up there?
I don't know.
Okay.
I went too hard on Zoroastrianism.
It's a
and,
cat and a rat.
You
And
were-
now the rat's just fucking in control.
let's see. Yeah, Muslim conquest in Persia. That this religion began to decline. This led to the persecution of every follower for many years to come. This was repeated over and over with. I'm gonna botch these names. Just letting you know. The Rashidun Caliphs.
Yeah, I'm sure that's right.
Can
Caliphs.
we get a
The caliphs.
Mr. Pyramid to
ISIS is gonna
correct
get
me
on
or
our
tell me?
ass.
I don't
because
know
of this.
the R word.
The Umayyads.
All right, so quick disclaimer: anyone listening to this right now, we will not pronounce any of these things correctly, and we
Abbasids?
apologize for it.
I'm gonna guess this is the Rashidun Caliphs
That sounds way better than what I said.
and
There we go.
the Umayyads.
I like Umayyads.
Umayyads.
I like it though. This happens again and again 8 times until the Islamic Republic of Iran in the 70s. That was
So these Zoroastrians, we can all agree here, they're getting slapped around a bit. You
Just
know,
a little slap.
They were top dogs for a while. They had influences on
For
different
like
religions.
a long time.
Yes. For instance, some of the priests that are in Zoroastrianism, some of the like wise men that are in there in Christian religion, there is the birth of Jesus Christ and the 3 magi.
Yep.
Those are Zoroastrians. That is actually a term for like certain members of Zoroastrian's religion is the magi.
They were
So
magi.
it's pretty
magicians,
cool if you ask
because
me.
they were wise in the sciences.
Yeah. I mean, because it was like the whole like Islamic Golden Age, and like everyone else was using Roman numerals to
No,
count
this was
things.
before. No, this was before.
That was part of the reason why that they were like known as like wise men, because like their mathematics was like way more advanced because like they had numbers that made sense.
I don't
The
know.
numerals make sense. They're just shit.
They don't. I mean, yeah, okay, they make sense.
They make
But
sense.
it take a year to read
Right.
how old your grandpa is.
So when these people show up and they're like, we can multiply these things together in our heads, people are like, no, that's impossible.
Or better yet, just
Can't be
add,
done.
Yeah.
or better yet, just create the number 0 and let it go.
What is this? It's nothing. No.
What is nothing?
No.
You see, okay, so all right,
It's
this
placeholder.
warehouse for grain, right? And let's say I have 5 tons of grain. Yep.
It's
okay.
like the riddle we did.
Pretty much.
And then I ate 4 tons of grain, right? So I have 1 ton of grain.
Yeah.
That's it.
The end. The end of math. No more math.
No more math can happen.
I wonder how
I have to
like,
sit on
crimes
that
of
like a
fraud
fucking
were back
gift
then.
card
Yeah.
because I can't get rid of it. Got to keep it on the books.
Well, I mean, that's like part of the reason they started writing stuff down was because people did do the fraud. So they're like, we should start like counting things.
Yeah, counting
Yeah.
things and also keeping track of like how many bushels of corn like Jimmy got on Tuesday and like how, you know.
we invented the written word to keep track of the bushels of corn.
You know, the honor system
I mean,
only
yeah.
works
Yeah.
past like 10 people, I'm pretty sure. After that, more than 10 people,
So
it doesn't
anyway,
work anymore.
Zoroastrianism.
Yes.
Yes.
One of the oldest religions
Is
out
fair.
there.
Recap. Recap
Mostly,
montage.
okay, for the uninitiated, it's pretty much just Zoro. He's in space.
I haven't gone to that yet.
Oh.
I haven't gone to Zoro.
Zoro's not in space. Come on.
I'm still debriefing.
Cutting that big Z.
You're talking about like
across
the
Orion's
religion
belt.
that the cradle of civilization used. Okay,
We got another paragraph
he's so
before
pissed at
Zoro.
us.
Okay.
This one's about the language. The language used by these people, it sounds kind of racist when I say it like that, is Old Avestian,
It wasn't until you said that. Now everyone's thinking it.
or a Proto-Indo-European language, which would eventually branch off into the Iranian language. This language is
And
very...
we all know how we feel about them.
interrupted me, you fucker.
I'm sorry.
Okay, can I go?
We're sponsored by Raytheon. Continue.
This language was also very adept at defending against bacteria and some viruses. The tonal frequency of this speech would work at disassembling the ribosomes and eventually leading to the eradication of the disease.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna get to it.
Don't you know about
Wait.
frequencies? We're using it right now.
Yeah, no, I get that, but
We're curing cancer as we speak, guys.
The speech, the vibrations would just like tear apart, viruses.
that
I don't know.
doesn't sound right.
Haven't you ever played Metal Gear Solid 5?
I mean, I have not.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I can see like if your language requires you to kind of like spit on people, that could be an issue. But like if I don't like the tonal frequencies breaking apart viruses doesn't seem correct.
You have to hit the right frequency.
Yeah, do you
Have you
not
ever seen
believe
that
in the
Mythbusters
Plant Lady Quiet?
where the guy
Like,
broke the glass with his voice?
Yeah, but that's like you need like a super pure note, and it's like not easy.
Yeah,
So-
they were all really good singers.
Okay, so everyone's just like, like that's just like how they communicate.
I don't think you'd actually be able to hear it.
So that,
It'd be like a
Yeah,
dog
the viruses
whistle.
probably have an extremely high native frequency.
I feel like
it's
that
all
would
in the
probably be-
guttural tones, like the silent S in some Italian
I feel like-
dialect
I feel like
languages.
being able to hear the language is kind of important. Though.
They could hear it, but only till like 13, I assume.
Okay, and then
They died.
But all right, okay.
And then the silent years.
Jesus.
Okay, so you may know that computers have followed the same theoretical chemistry with the invention of a vast antivirus. So, connections.
Connections.
So,
Who was the guy that made a vast antivirus? Oh no, I'm thinking of Norton antivirus.
No,
No,
you're thinking of
McAfee.
You're
Oh,
thinking of
McAfee. Okay,
yeah,
no, I'm
yeah.
thinking of McAfee.
Yeah. He's the one that went to like South America and
Tried
did
to
a bunch
start a
of
coup d'etat.
I mean, he like murdered people and like started like a cocaine house. It was yeah.
No,
also,
he tried to start a coup d'etat to overthrow
yeah,
a South American
yeah,
government.
He completely infiltrated like their entire government by giving them free laptops, which he just had viruses on. And they were like, "Thank you," and he just like got all their secrets. Like that was it. He was just like, "Have some free laptops," and they're like, "Sweet, let's put secrets on them." And he's like, "Good, now I have all of them."
the ultimate grift.
Jesus Christ, I didn't know that part.
and
Oh,
like
yeah,
he's
he's
still
insane, yeah.
alive and well in the United States. He's not in jail. He's not. You know.
He's got a good
like,
suit.
he's alive. Well is
I thought he
I've
was,
seen
like,
a couple
hiding
of
out in some other
interviews.
country.
yeah, on account of the crimes.
No,
yeah,
he's, no. He's back in the United States. I've actually seen like an interview like
Well, you
pretty
DM'd
recently.
him
of
or
him.
something?
No, I didn't DM him. I should DM him actually, but I mean,
Get him on
he might
Earth.
respond. But I mean, yeah, recently, like in the United States, on like some really weird, obscure podcasts, like they've actually interviewed him, and he is out of his fucking mind.
He's
Yeah.
He's like, "Have you ever had pure methamphetamine?" Like, I'm not joking.
We're gonna have to do a McAfee
Maybe we
bit.
can get him on.
Yeah.
I mean,
He just might actually, to be honest with
I
you.
feel like he works for cocaine, so we can't afford him.
No, he just works for pure methamphetamine.
That and we're old, so we have to like know a guy who has a younger brother who knows a guy who can get it for us.
Or we just do it like we usually do in our town. We go to a college party, we ask around for Molly, and then a skeevy guy in the corner will be like, "Yeah, I have Molly for you," and then he'll just sell you meth and tell you it's Molly. So there you go.
It sounds like a real story.
It is.
That's why I'm Schmegan. You want to keep going?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, we're on to Zoro.
Okay.
Okay.
Thus, Zoroastrastra, anyone want to repronounce that?
Zarathustra.
Zarathustra.
Yeah.
Was
that one.
birthed into existence, or some may know him as,
Zoroaster.
yes. But this has nothing to do with that Jumanji knockoff, which is really based on Zapateo, the Spanish dance. You guys know what I'm talking about? Zathora?
Zapateo?
So,
I mean, I'm not a good dancer.
With
so-
like, do you mean like flamenco dancing with the clams and
Exactly.
ding, 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 ding. Well, that's flamenco dancing.
No, it's Zapateo.
Zapateo.
You
Okay,
know,
well,
like-
Zapateo, zapatas means shoes. So
Yeah,
Are we talking about Zapateo or are we talking about Zoroastrianism?
It's all connected, baby.
yeah,
Is it?
It's all the same thing.
All right.
it all goes down to the same place, as my grandfather said.
The origins of his exact birth
Pooper?
were unknown until this very moment, at which I'm speaking, that the date has been implanted into my memory.
He's tapping his head. He's still tapping his head.
It was a Tuesday. The leaves,
1984.
the leaves, it was not fucking Tuesday. The leaves were rumbling in a hurry, as if being knocked off their branches by the footsteps of 1,000 soldiers rumbling there. The sun rises at 89.64 degrees, and the mother is in her 16th hour of labor. She will not make it past childbirth.
Oh no!
The baby emerges when the sun is at 91.23 degrees, roughly 7:01 a.m., which would make that today's date. But wait, he's not alive now. So take the angle of the stone reflecting off the water, add in the migration of the Siberian cranes occurring. This equals 777 BCE, the luckiest of all years. And what's luckier than being a prophet for the Creator?
Jesus, that was a journey.
Whoa.
Okay,
Yeah,
wow.
take that, people that studied about this person and were not able to determine when he was born.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got that mind
we
connection.
found it out.
There are going to be like 3,500 people in Iran. God forbid they ever hear this episode. And like my Honda CRV is going to get car bombed.
Also,
Like,
one
I-
quick note. One
Now,
quick
from
note.
what I
Franklin!
understand,
What
they're
I-
pretty chill people.
Yeah, but one thing that I
not
did,
after they hear this.
Wait.
So one thing that I
Fair.
did learn from my extensive research was that he wasn't exactly a prophet, and he never described himself as a prophet. He was just like a dude that was like, "Yo, like this is what the God said," which kind of sounds like a prophet now that I'm saying it out loud. But he was. They were.
But he
pretty
was, like,
explicit.
relaxed about it.
Yeah, he
So he's
was
like a
like,
fuckboy.
I'm not a prophet.
He's
you
like,
guys."
don't look at me, look at the guy.
Exactly.
That's a pretty chill guy.
I know the whole
We should-
the whole
we should
religion's
follow this
actually
dude.
the whole religion's
well, I
actually
mean,
pretty chill.
Pretty
Well,
dope.
I mean,
what I've seen, yeah, you just
Yeah,
like,
it's like shockingly chill. I was expecting
hey,
it
guys.
to be way wackier, but it's like
hey, let's
pretty
bring
down to
happiness and logic into
Yep.
the world.
Yep.
And guess what? When we do it, we win.
Yes, exactly.
Yep, exactly. And then also
Which-
some of their like burial rituals. Would you like to hear about how they like buried the dead and things
I'm going
like
to talk
that?
about fire.
I know
so don't
about
talk
them,
about fire.
but I do also want to hear
Oh,
about
you
I
don't
them.
want
also
to talk
know
about
that
fire?
they
don't talk about
bury
fire
the
because
dead.
fire is going to come up soon.
Except, sometimes in the modern day.
I feel like, yeah, they probably have to at some point because leaving things outside to get eaten by birds is not always.
Oh, I fucking love sky burials.
Well, that's exactly what they did. They did
so
sky
cool.
burials.
Can
That's
you
what they did.
elaborate for
Just
the
like the
uneducated?
I'll try to
Me.
elaborate if
Well,
I can
some
talk over
Tibetans.
these two
Don't at me.
jackasses for a moment. Jesus.
Yeah.
So what they did in back in the day was they would build these burial towers essentially, and those were essentially sky burials. There were these towers. They were situated outside of the city, away from everybody. More populated areas.
I
and
also read they were called the Towers of Silence.
That's
yes,
pretty cool.
Yeah, they were called the Towers of Silence. Yeah.
I didn't read that. I listened
Yeah.
to that. But
And
yeah.
it was sort of like out of view, out of mind for everybody, but like they would put the corpses like on top of this tower or like within it, and they would just let nature take care of it. The sunlight would take care of it. Even to this day, or I don't know for how long, but
No, it was-
the fire is sacred to them.
Don't,
So like,
no, we're not going to talk about fire yet. We're going to segue. Into
well,
it.
I'm just gonna say that like fire is sacred. So like immolating people, or what's that thing? What do they
Cremation.
do? Cremation.
Darth
So
Vader-ing.
cremation would have been like taboo
It would've-
because you're
Because it would have tainted the fire.
Yeah,
Because,
exactly.
Because bodies are, I believe they're
Dirty.
inhabited by evil spirits.
No, it's
like,
it's just that they're like
immediately?
dirty,
Or
right?
after-
It's like that's
Yeah.
just part of it. Like
So you don't want to bury it in the earth either,
Yeah.
because the
You don't
earth is
wanna-
also
yeah.
sacred.
I
So
know
the
that-
way they got around that was they would make like cremation chambers. They wouldn't use fire, but they would reflect the sunlight
Yeah.
and like multiple times to like make a laser essentially, and then like no, I'm serious.
Yeah.
No, they would do this like,
yeah, I
and it's
think-
really
I
cool
think-
actually. That's kind of the way I want to be buried. Honestly,
I think
get
more-
cremated by sunlight.
Yeah, more modern day stuff. I think they use like electricity and stuff to like kind of sort of burn and fry the body, but not really.
Yeah, I
That
don't
was
know what
one
the
thing.
throughway is of the logic with that.
I
Actually,
mean, it's not exactly using a fire.
yeah, it's using induction.
It's using the
heat.
fire of the
Quite.
soul.
Yeah.
The worker, who's
No.
burning you or electrifying you.
Yeah.
You got
Well,
some
yeah,
notes there?
yeah, I do have some notes, actually, because I wrote this down on my lunch break.
I should have made notes.
But yeah, I do remember that the body's dirty because some evil spirits, like, they fucking get it there.
Angramanyu.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay, yeah.
He's a jerk.
Yeah, he's like the yin to the
That
yang.
was,
He's the
He's
dark.
the
with a
god of
little bit light.
destruction.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
he
was
is.
All things
the
bad,
destructive
essentially.
spirit or mentality.
Yes,
Yeah.
everything bad is governed by Angramanyu.
And what's the good one?
No, Ahura Mazda.
Ahura Mazda. Yeah.
Ahura Mazda,
No,
yeah.
Spencer Manu.
Wait, I
Wait,
thought
It's the
what?
creative spirit.
Oh.
Spencer Manu is like the prime,
Okay.
the prime manifestation of Ahura Mazda.
I don't know.
They do have saints,
They have
like
multiple
patron
gods,
saints.
right?
Like,
Yeah, Ahura Mazda
They're the
never
two
acts
main ones.
directly. He like
what?
has his agents.
Yeah, I think that was like actually a point of contention with the religion of whether or not it's like a monotheistic religion or it's like kind of like a weird dual, because it's like you have the good god and the bad god, and they're like the good god created everything, but also the bad god is just also there. So it's not like God and Satan, where it's like Satan is clearly below. It's like they're kind of like equal or like comparable.
They're in a
like
that
constant,
might-
they're
that
in a
might be
constant
later on.
conflict.
Yeah.
They're in a
'Cause-
constant conflict, and that defines life.
Yeah.
And how you are.
yeah.
From
it
what
is.
I read early on, it was just Ahura Mazda, and then there was that other guy, but he was like lesser than.
Okay, he was.
I think
alright.
later on he became Ahriman.
Well, he's the bad. He's the bad.
He's
guy.
the bad.
He's the bad guy.
Yeah, he's the bad
He's
bad.
responsible for all the bad things. So if your
Yeah.
socks get wet,
Like decay, bad feelings. What else is there?
You.
Like me.
bad is it like how do you make
Three-legged
compost
Italians.
if you
Just
can't
Italians
decay
in
it?
general are a creation of Angramanyu.
Bad thought. Bad thought.
All right.
Okay, Zoroaster believed in a lot of things, like that a man's work ethic decides their place in society, or they can still eat moldy bread if you eat around the fuzz. These were negotiable in the wake of order.
The fuzz being a creation of Angramanyu.
Well, not yet because they're still figuring it out right now.
Yeah, he's like,
Well, in contemporary ideas, it would be considered Angramanyu's creation.
Yeah,
Mold.
but right now we're talking about when it's all coming together, though.
Oh, okay.
like a
All right.
circle. Okay, these were negotiable in the wake of order and chaos. You know what we talked about.
Yep.
These are the two main bullet points on this religious PowerPoint. Zoroaster was chosen by Ahura Mazda to create supporters for his cause. You guys know that, right?
Yeah,
You researched that.
we did.
I did actually.
I didn't get the name.
He received messages from Ahura Mazda in the form of mind email, which can only occur during meditation. Little did Zoroaster know his spam filter was on and never read any messages from, how do you say it again?
Angramanyu.
Yeah, Angramanyu. Okay, and then he had some trouble converting the people until King, I'm going to botch this.
Vishtapsa.
Yes, King Him saw reason in one idea. It was thought that Zoroaster...
Vishtapsa?
It was SP. Vishtaspa.
Vishtaspa. Okay.
It was thought that Zoroaster had made a rule against burning dead bodies, or otherwise defiling the fire. No such rule was made. It was purely that Persians were burning people who were asleep.
Oh my God. Okay.
Zoroaster pointed this out to the king that, eyes closed does not mean dead.
How bad does the fire need to be where, like, if someone lights a bonfire underneath you and then you realize, oh, I'm on fire, I should wake up? Like, what does that mean? Like, does somebody have to, like, douse gasoline on you and then they throw a match at you? And
What are you asking?
my question is, how long do you stay asleep before you realize you're on fire?
I don't know. Comas were just apparently a thing back then, because like in Europe they had the fucking bells into the grave because
They
like
did bury people
sometimes
in-
you just aren't dead.
Well, that was also because they're really bad at figuring out if people were dead, and like the doctor would come up and be like, "Well, they're not. I don't know.
They're not
Alive?
moving.
I poked him with my live stick, and he
my
didn't
medicine
move."
stick.
Yeah,
He didn't say his prayers before going to bed, so he must be dead.
he's probably not alive. Put him in the grave.
I got more shit.
I was also like, you were saying it before too, Dan. Like,
Yeah,
I was actually
yeah.
quite impressed with how like chill and even keeled this religion was. It was like a constant battle between like good and bad, and like it wasn't like one was above the other,
Yeah.
but it was like
Yeah,
know,
I can actually go into more about that
Oh, yeah.
from the note that I just read that I wrote down earlier and
Yay.
immediately forgot because I didn't look good at research, guys.
we're all college graduates, by the way.
I'm not
Oh God.
Oh well, not yet, but you're on your way though.
going to do it.
Anyways, yeah. So there's bear with me.
Rawr.
Saoshyant. Saoshhyant. Saoshyant.
I mean,
Shall
you're the
Sion?
one that can pronounce
Yeah,
stuff.
you
Yeah.
got to be confident.
Can you
Yeah.
read your own
I know a
handwriting?
little Hebrew. That doesn't mean I know how to speak.
You're Mr. Pronounce It Right.
You've been the one reading my shit, acting like it's right.
Don't look at us. We can't English good.
Anyway, it's like a messiah. It means like the bringer of one who brings benefit.
Good vibes.
But like early in the creation of this religion, it just kind of meant like the followers. So it was like they were all the messiah because they were all working towards the goal of just making things chill.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot better than
Which,
Catholicism, which is
honestly-
like you're all fucked to begin with unless you're baptized. You
right.
know.
I mean, that's also kind of like that is kind of the cool appeal to the religion, right? That there's this battle going on between good and evil, and the way to fight it is to like not be a dick.
Yeah.
Like just go around like not being a dick. Whereas like Christianity can be like, guys, we have some rules we need to live by, but also we can tweak those rules so that we can go and kill a bunch of
Yeah,
people.
the people with
Yeah.
the most power and influence can
Yeah.
tweak those rules because
Yeah.
they're the only ones that can read Latin.
Yep.
So, you know.
we can read it. And this passage here says, yeah, you're clear to invade. You're good.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
Invade Jerusalem. Fucking slaughter everyone. Go, do it.
is cool. I'm the Pope. I'll send you over there.
Are they Muslim?
these
Yeah,
guys?
fucking kill them. You're still going to heaven. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh, sir, that's France. Yeah, but they're excommunicated, so they're pretty much Chinese. You're good to go.
What are the Chinese? Also, they might be Protestant.
Who
Fucking go kill
knows?
'em.
But yeah, I think like, and then the other crazy thing,
Jesus, Europe, what were you doing?
like,
We're bored. We were just bored over there. We ate all the good food. There was a plague, and then we got sick of the paintings. So then we looked at each other and said, "What the fuck's your problem?" And then we came up with problems, and we started stabbing each other. That's pretty much what happened
Yeah.
that's how you fix the problems.
by stabbing each other,
Yes.
not killing each other, but just like sort of
Just get a
just a
quick
3-inch
stab.
blade, just
Quick
you
stab.
know.
But yeah, no. So
yeah.
I guess it just kind of goes back to how influential Zoroastrianism was on like basically every religion. Like, because you look at like Christianity, right?
I'm
And
looking.
people will be like, "Hey, Christianity takes some influence from like lots of different stuff," and they'll be like, "Oh, like Jesus is kind of like Dionysus because he turned water into wine. He keeps coming back to life, or like he's kind of like Osiris because he keeps coming back to life." But like Zoroastrianism's
Yeah,
like
but do you know how Osiris came back to life?
he jizzed and stuff.
Blowjobs.
There we go.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Okay, so his brother, fucking chopped him up.
I remember
That's
that.
right,
I
yes,
remember
and then
that.
spread his body parts around, and that's what became the different regions
very
of
graphic.
Egypt, and that's
Yeah.
why there's conflict, pretty
And
much.
then his wife, Isis,
Yeah.
found them all, which, how did the regions stay there? Well, won't get into that.
Yeah, that's geopolitics of an ancient time. I don't think that's above our pay grade.
She gathered him up, stitched him up, blew life into him through his penis.
Well, I mean, it's the only part that you can really,
You could just
It's
hold
like
his
when you're on
nose
an-
and blow into his mouth.
Well, not really. I mean, if you're
Wait,
on an
wait,
airplane
do
and
you
you
give
have like
CPR
your
through the
vest on, and then they tell you, if your vest doesn't auto-inflate, there's that little like nozzle that you can, on, and must have been the same thing. He didn't have any CO2 pouches with him, so
Nick,
he had to do,
Nick,
he had to do a manual.
when
my
you
God.
took
Oh my
that
God.
CPR class, the big red flag should have been when you asked how much it was, and she was like, $100. Sure.
Pretty much. There you go.
but yeah, so but yeah, so it's like Abrahamic religions will they obviously borrow stuff and like stuff gets kind of mushed together, but like Zoroastrianism
Especially
is
in that
like
region, yeah.
yeah, but it's like the OG stuff. Like all of these things are just like yeah. So this is like huge battle between good and evil, like an afterlife that's like oh you're gonna be judged based on how much of a dick you are in real life. Like the fact that like there's
The
going
ancient
to
Egyptians actually did that too. They put your heart on a scale, and if your heart was heavier than a feather,
feather.
yeah,
then
but like
you-
they also were like,
It's
you
the
get,
same
you
kind
get
of
all your
concept.
shit when you die, so let's bury me with it. Like, I mean, this was more like, don't be a dick, and like, life's gonna be sweet. Like, Egypt was like, put all my stuff in a tomb so I can keep it. It's like, well, what about your slaves? Put them in the tomb so I can keep it.
well, the
It's just
Vikings
like,
also
oh.
did that too.
Well, yeah, but like, but that's
A
the
lot of
point.
people
But
did
that's
that.
the problem.
A lot of people
when you
did
have
that.
when you have a religion that's like, well, if you have more shit, then when you die, you get to keep all that shit. Like, it's just like, oh, this kind of sucks for people who don't have anything.
I know.
But Zoroastrianism,
I've never read about a pharaoh and be like, that sounds cool. But honestly, when I was doing this research, I was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but like that's like those concepts were just like, hey, like you can have a good afterlife if you're like nice to people. And it doesn't matter if you're like the dude that has all the shit. You can like have like the equivalent niceness of an afterlife, provided that like you're a good person.
Well, regardless of all of that, I still want to be buried with all my guns.
I mean, yeah,
Sure.
That's gonna
Yeah, no,
happen.
my AK-47 has come to the grave with me.
And a coin, just to be safe.
You know.
Yeah, and a pack of American Spirit Light Blues
Right.
is coming with me.
Yeah. But
And a Zippo lighter.
yeah.
And
So,
my
like,
army helmet.
Right.
Are you done?
Okay, we'll
Yeah.
bury you with all of your stuff.
Thank you.
We
All
won't.
right.
We're going to take it out.
It'll happen. All right.
Thank you very much, guys.
Pharaoh fucking Nicholas.
Yeah.
But these concepts were very revolutionary at the time.
They
'Cause it was
absolutely were. Yeah.
And but it's not only that. It's not just like the concept of like an afterlife that's based on like doing good things in your normal life. Like the fact that you'd have like the whole the Messiah thing. Like they have like a person that's gonna basically do the final battle was gonna be like born of a virgin.
Yeah,
and, like,
they had
like,
actually the Jews didn't have
I didn't read that
correct
far.
me if I'm wrong, but like the Jews didn't have
But that's
like
part of it.
a whole like end of days concept until they escaped into Mesopotamia to get away from persecution.
in the Second Temple era.
And then they learned that the whole concept you were talking
Yeah.
about the whole like there is going to be an end of days, that it's going to be a final battle, and all the people that were good are going to ascend to, well, I don't know, ascend, is that the right term?
Go-
I feel
Upward.
like it pretty much mirrors the whole like weird stuff that happens in like It's just like it's like stuff's gonna get weird and like there's gonna be explosions and then hopefully if you were a dick then you'll like be good, like it'll be fine.
the thing about Zoroastrianism that I read is actually after like it's done, even if you were a dick, like you still come back.
That's true. Well, yeah, because everything's cyclical.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
and it's just like time no longer exists. Obvs.
also the
And
trial.
everybody's chilling.
Like it's sort of like they have a really cool way of like, so like when you die, like your judgment is like you walk across a bridge and the bridge gets smaller and smaller depending on how much of a dick you were. So if you're like a super dick, it becomes like a razor thin line that you have to walk across. So
And
the
it
moral of the story is don't trust any trapeze artist because they can be awful. That's the big takeaway from this religion.
All trapeze artists are dickheads.
Yeah.
Secret
They're like, I can do the horrible thing because I know how to walk across the bridge.
Jesus,
Well.
that's really good. Oh my god, I never thought about it that way. Oh my god, all trapeze artists are dickheads secretly.
I got some quotes here if you want to learn some facts.
Sure.
I love learn.
Ahura Mazda becomes ruler of the universe and reinstills his cosmic order by making the sun rise and the rains fall. The sun brings light and warmth to the earth. His daughter, and the rains fertilizer, making her produce all good things for living beings. That's a quote. So if it doesn't sound right,
It was quoted wrong.
yeah. No, I copy pasted that from somewhere. I'm not going to tell because plagiarism, but you can figure it out.
I'm sure they could.
It was
Sure.
Yeah, I'm
okay,
sure
yeah.
there's
I feel
somebody
like
in
it was
Iran
Wikipedia.
that's like, verse 3, page 37. Yeah, okay.
I mean, there's not like that many Zoroastrianism.
Freddie Mercury was a
Right.
Zoroastrian.
There's like,
Bring
there's
that
like
up.
100,000.
110.
I thought there was
20.
20,000.
20. It's not a lot. Not a lot of
110 to
people.
20
Yeah.
is the number.
We can make it bump with this podcast.
No, because
Yeah.
part of the reason that there's not that many of it because they actively they don't let people join.
They don't proselytize.
Yeah, they're just like no.
Well,
Really?
Make
Oh, you
a-
have to be born into it.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on which branch of it.
Oh, okay.
I think. God, I cannot remember the names. The Indian branch does not proselytize. The Iranian does, but it's illegal to do that in Iran. So the people of that branch who aren't in Iran, like the U.S. or wherever they happen to be.
Yes,
can
if you're lost.
proselytize.
Listen, if you're Iranian and you live in the United States and you have relatives back in Iran that are Zoroastrians,
And
you
you're
can-
Zoroastrian.
Yeah, and you are
If you're
Zoroastrian.
listening to this podcast,
Yeah, you could be
we're
Zoro-
sorry.
Yeah,
Can
you
we
could
just
also
make
be
our own sect?
Zoroastrians.
Can we just like diverge?
We would love to have you on so you can correct everything.
Pretty much. Thank you.
And yes, we know there is less than one of you. So, you know.
We have an expert right here. He's going to read some stuff on the expertise of
All right. So, the
Frawashi.
Frashokreti is how I have it written
Yeah.
from my notes. Or pre-soul, which is made in the world of thought and pre-exists the person, being sent down to the world of the living when a person is conceived.
So these are each parts of the soul.
Yep. The Urwan, or breath, soul,
Breath soul.
which leaves the body at death It's actually 4 days after death.
That's cool.
It is pretty cool.
I did not know that.
I assume the 4 days after is when the spooky spirits get into the body.
It gets all gross. It's
Which
probably like when the body gets really smelly. There's probably just like
That's
a level
probably why
of
it's
like
4 days.
Yeah. It's just like, well, it doesn't smell that bad, and then it's just like, nope. Now we gotta put it. We gotta go outside.
Grandpa's still in there. Oh, he's smelly. Oh, it's 4 days. Oh, demons.
Okay, then we have the third soul.
I don't know what to do with those weird carrot symbols. The Dana.
Don't say like Boston.
Dana.
Yes.
Vision soul.
The mental constituent, that man that allows him to see into the world of thought.
And lastly,
So it's kind of like
Oops.
your executive function, essentially.
Yes.
you missed the 3 parts. There's 4 parts of the soul. We
Well, while you were talking about the 4
Lastly,
parts of the soul,
we have the
I
coita.
went to take a piss.
Hey, we're trying to explain something here. Can you repeat yourself, please?
Lastly, we have the coita, post-soul, which occurs when the cloud of misjudgment leaves after post-intercourse, allowing man to see without a stupor of persuasion.
Yeah, it's post-nut clarity.
That's built into the religion? I did not know
Apparently, I'm just reading his notes, folks.
that. Or he could just be wrong. Is that all right?
The notes don't lie about
That would
the
be
validity.
incredible if, like, they were on the ball about that. Like, no pun intended, but, like, about that way back in the day. They were like, oh, no, you think clearly about decisions after you've nutted. Like,
I think humans
I mean,
have
there is
always
truth to
known that.
that.
There absolutely
Yeah.
is.
I think humans have always known that.
Yeah.
No.
It's like,
Oh shit! I'm in a cave. I don't have any extra food. Oh shit!
I spending a lot of resources getting into this cave. I'm gonna die in winter, but
I need to. What are farming implements? What's a rake? I need to. I need to Minecraft this. What's Minecraft? Oh shit!
And then the circle just repeats again until you.
Oh.
Over and over again.
I guess the other I guess like really important aspect of Zoroastrianism that kind of confuses people is the impact of fire and like how that works, because I know that was like kind of one of the takeaways from my extensive research was that
Did you research for more than a half an hour?
I researched, well, I mean, it was like YouTube videos, so yes, but no, because I don't know how well I actually listened.
Thank you,
But-
Nick.
But the point is that it's a lot of people would describe Zoroastrianism like it's incorrect to say like there's like they're fire worshippers. Like fire is an important
It's just
part
important.
of it. Right. It's
Yeah.
important because mostly because like
It's a sacred flame, and we also have the flame of the unknown
Right,
soldier.
but-
So it's
well,
like a
no-
constant theme throughout humanity.
Yeah, but it's like comforting. Like the point, the
Yeah.
reason that fire's nice is because like sitting around a fire is nice. And then the fire.
Wait, Franklin, we got a cat going
Franklin,
on.
we got a cat. We got
Hold on a second.
Get the fuck.
a CT, Franklin.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Don't do that.
Just use your crab fingers. It's like
He's fine. Leave him alone.
I don't want a fucking cat meowing. We're trying to get deep.
As if they're gonna hear the cat meowing over the
They're
4
not
of
gonna
us.
hear. Yeah,
They heard
they're
the-
not even gonna hear the 4 of us over the 4 of us.
No, they will not.
This is gonna be hell for Franklin to edit. Let me know.
I feel bad for Franklin.
Okay.
I can't wait.
So-
I mean, Franklin can't wait until we have 4 separate audio channels.
Nice.
Instead of just us all going fucking hot and fucking raw into one.
It's not for an audio, it's just
No,
one.
we are recording in mono.
Oh my god. That is awful for Franklin. Okay.
Rip.
Yes.
That's why we were on like a week and a half delay.
Good lord. Okay, so anyway, boobity bobbity boo, back to the fire. So like the point, yeah, it's like flame is comforting and nice, and like that is why it's an important aspect of the religion.
Yeah.
Feel free to anyone that knows more about this religion to correct me.
Or fire.
But yeah, and then they have
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
they have flame
comforting
temples.
to just humanity.
Right, yeah.
Like it's
yeah.
I feel like it's just something that they understood, but they actually articulated it and incorporated it into their religion.
Yep.
Which,
Yeah, no,
I
the
mean,
very first time lightning struck a tree and set it on fire, some cave dude was like, "Oh no! Oh, hey!"
It's pretty cool.
well, the Native Americans have, I don't know which tribe this comes from, but they had a myth like how the gods or how they figured out how to start fire on their own was there was a windstorm and 2 trees were rubbing against each other in this windstorm, and like it caused enough heat where they saw embers start to form. So they were like, "Oh, let's let's try that. This is something I think I learned in elementary school, so it might not be right. It might have been from a picture book, honestly.
I might have just made that up.
It could have been a dream.
Yeah, could have been a fever dream. Who knows?
Literal fever dream
Yeah.
about fire.
Yeah.
But then you also have important connections to like kind of like eternal flames, which was it's like the fire is started in one location and then it's kind of kept burning over like centuries. I think they have like in like some of the flame temples they'll have like fires that have been going for technically like 2,000 years.
Yeah, in Iran they actually have a
Yeah.
temple of flame that's
Yeah.
been going
Yeah,
forever.
and then like if you need like the fire, like part of that fire for a ceremony, you can like go and like get some of the fire for like a wedding or like some type of celebration or something.
Yeah,
like
that's
that,
really
which is
cool.
like it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like you go and you get a little bit of the fire and you're like this fire.
I just thought of something like
So it's
very
like a
like
yeast
funny,
colony,
but
but
also
way
sacrilegious.
cooler.
It's
Yeah,
just somebody
yeah.
like going into the temple and lighting their cigarette with the fire, and then getting back in their car and driving to the funeral, and then going and like lighting the fucking kerosene like rags with their cigarette.
Well, how do they keep it lit? That's what I want to know.
I think there's just custodians that keep it
Well,
going.
they have
For
They
the,
feed it, I
2,000
believe, 5 times a day.
yeah, and that's the other thing is that they also like take like donations and stuff. Like the other important aspect of it is that they don't like they want to like they collect wood and stuff to burn. So it's not like they burn like they.
This is the middle of a desert too, like
Right, yeah, but it's
not
like-
desert, but very arid environment.
Right, but part of
so-
it is like they're not going to like it's like they'll take like a discarded thing to like basically feed the fire and stuff along that line. Like you won't like harvest or like grow stuff to be burnt. It'll be like, oh, if someone has something that can be like that they can donate or they can use.
yeah, like an old chair or something.
I have trouble
I feel
believing
like
that.
there's probably there's just. I mean, no, but I mean, it's like there's specific woods that they shoot for, but it's like specific woods that like wouldn't be used for something.
I mean, we
else, like,
prefer
rather than
cedar or
going
white
away.
pine, but I mean, if you
literal,
have
no, no,
a literal fallen
They
olive
have
branch.
specific woods because certain woods create more or less smoke, and it can be annoying if you're in a room and it's super smoky. And
Yeah,
stuff
no-
gets
no-
everywhere.
and will burn.
Yeah.
yeah, no,
You don't want
willow
to just
wood.
load it up with shit that's
Yeah.
going to burn super fast. Be like,
Yeah.
oh, I got to feed this
I just feel
5
like
times a
someone
day. and
fucked
it's-
up and it went out
Ow.
every once in a while.
Yeah, like
No, like the people. I
For
hope
2,000
not.
years?
But it was like, but like a huge part of it is like the fire keeps going. Like they carried, like when they were kind of jihaded earlier, like they had to carry the fire.
Jihadid has just been turned into a fucking
I mean,
verb.
they kept getting killed and they had to move. Like it just kept happening. So like, and when they were migrating, like they carried the fire with them. Like they kept it going. 'Cause
Which
it's,
is
like,
what
an important
ancient
aspect
man
of the
also
religion.
used to do, because like starting a fire for like a prehistoric man, like cavemen, it was so difficult to start a fire again that like they would have people like carry around like tinder or fire that was still going with them, because God forbid it went out, you'd be out
Yeah, I
there,
remember
in the middle of God knows where.
Again, I cannot remember which Native American tribe it was, but
Franklin can edit that in.
Just the audio clip from a YouTube video.
But yeah, they had what was essentially a small canoe tree
Yeah.
that they just always had fire in, and that's what became the priests, the fire keepers.
Yeah, they just kept it going and made sure it kept going. Yeah.
It was super important, but not like
It's not like us,
but not like
getting drunk in the
so-
woods and whipping out the Bic lighter and, like hitting up some
Even still
birch bark,
failing.
you know?
it's like I'm so spiritual.
Whoa, man. Shit.
Let's see. And
But yeah,
other
so
big-
since it's super important, they couldn't do anything else. But it's also not so all-consuming that like took all their time. So they became like the lore keepers and the story keepers and the priests, essentially.
you don't let it go out because you got one job.
Could you?
And then when you get to that point, you're like,
I'm important.
and everyone's just like, oh, I guess he's important. We need the fire.
I have the fire.
It's like, well, I guess listen to the priests.
He's getting more bread.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna listen to me. You're not gonna give me more bread or more corn. Oh yeah, and he's just
yeah?
like
Do you
has
know
the
how to
canoe
start a
hovering
fire?
over like a
No.
pond. It's like he's just like, oh yeah, I might drop it into this river here. Like you better give me more fucking cornbread, you piece of shit.
You got something you want to say there, Daniel?
Pretty not. I think it was the other thing. Well, what was it? I think they lost one of the only they had like a written tome of like all of the teachings that was like burned down when Alexander the Great burned down everything.
Yeah. A lot of their only written shit was destroyed by Alexander the Great.
What a great guy.
Yeah. Well, he's not known as a great guy to them or any. He's like Alexander the Jerk or something.
I actually
like
watched
that.
a documentary, a pretty
words
good
change,
documentary
too.
on
Yeah, I mean,
Alexander
it
the
was-
Great. But
it
I
was-
mean, he had plenty of opportunity to like invade Persia, and he absolutely did. He went into Persia, he went into the Middle East, he went all the way to like Southeast Asia, I'm pretty sure. He had an opportunity every time to just like incorporate the Greek culture and like meld the two together and be like, hey, we can get along and be nice, you know. And every single fucking time, he's like, burn down their temple. And so, like, he pissed off everybody. So then when he was retreating back, because he got fucking malaria in Thailand or something, like, everyone was a dickhead to him. Everyone was, and, you know.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't blame him either.
Don't burn down my house.
It's like the Persians were like, yeah, you got us, you defeated us. Okay, what now? Can we chill now?
This
and
is generally how it's done.
No. Like, his generals were even like, would you fucking calm down, dude? And he was like, no, I'm gay, I'm 35, I'm taking over half the world. Let's go. Like, that's it.
History.
History by Nick.
Speaking of history, we will be reading an excerpt live on air, but not live to you. I want you to look for the hidden messages.
Live now.
Hidden messages throughout, because only an expert witness can decipher the knot.
Dr. Pyramid Van Hoon.
Mr. Pyramid.
Who
Mr.
wants to
Pyramid
read
Van
this? We can get Franklin.
Doctor yet.
Franklin time.
Franklin, time.
Number 1. The deeds, the words, the worship for which thou hast established immortality, righteous existence, and the kingdom of perfection. All these deeds and words and worship I dedicate all of to thee, O Lord Mazda. Number 2. Inspired by the good mind, these deeds come from the good spirit of the virtuous person, whose soul follows the path of truth, approaching thy presence, O Mazda, singing hymns of thy praise. Number 3. To thee and to the truth, we tender our offerings of revelation and adoration. In thy kingdom may all the living achieve their destiny of perfection through the good mind. For indeed, the advancement to thy exalted presence is forever secure among the right thinking, O Mazda. Number 4. Thy sacred fire, O Azura, mighty through truth, most swift and powerful. May its helpful radiance be a bringer of joy to the good. But for the malicious, wicked, may its power their evil disclose.
There's more. Page down.
Oh, just give me a moment there, laddie. Oh no, oh shite, I went all the way up. Hold on. Oh no, I've got it. Okay. Number 5. What is thy power? What is thy domain, O Mazda? How can one's actions justify thy protection, O Mazda? Indeed, thus, through righteousness and through and through benevolent mind, and by protecting thy poor, we will declare thy exaltation to all, even to the powers of evil and the wicked destroyers among men. Number 6. As thou art truly thus, O Mazda, the very being of truth and the good mind, then give me a sign during the existence of mine, that I may approach with confident joy in veneration, singing of thy glory.
That's enough desecration for now.
Well,
I've only gotten to number 7, you fuck.
I know.
Oh wait, there's only 7.
Oh, thank fuck.
Aye, Bonnie, all good job done.
Okay, so most
I'm back to
of
Guido.
most of you may not have picked up on it, but the truth was, you know how he was saying the truth, you know, remember that?
Aye,
A lot
laddie,
of
there was a
truth.
lot
There's
of
a
the
lot of
truth in
truth.
there.
When he was saying truth, that was an analogy for kyber crystals. You
Aye,
get
it's
it?
a fucking weapon then, eh?
Of which Ahura was the original wielder of the lightsaber.
Oh shit, we got some Star Wars time in here.
They do like fire and light.
Those were air horns.
that was a classic Star Wars sound right there. That's what that was.
Exactly what Chewbacca sounds like.
Just
Shut
keep
the
this-
fuck up, Chewie.
Keep going, another 15 minutes. We gotta fill that time slot.
Chewie, get your dick out of the airlock. That's not a star. That's a moon.
We're only at 50 minutes, folks, so he's got to keep doing this for at
We
least
don't have to
another
go.
10,
We don't have to go for an hour.
and then I'm going to cut it down, so you got to do this
So-
for 20.
What did we learn?
I don't know.
What did we learn about all of this? I mean, we've done research on the religion of Zoroastrianism.
Good
which-
vibes. Good
Good
deeds.
vibes.
Good vibes, good times, cool pals.
Yeah. I mean, once again, I think my biggest takeaway from the extensive research I did on Zoroastrianism was just how impactful it was on basically like the good chunk of
Everything.
modern religions.
Everything.
Yep.
Yeah, it was like the OG for coming up with stuff that wasn't like we worship the sun and sacrifice things. It was just like, hey, you guys, there's some other lore that we can come up with that's actually pretty sweet.
Well, I mean, weren't the Mesopotamians the first ones to come up with like the first sort of coherent written language in the form of cuneiform and everything? So yeah, it would have been like recorded and everything. I mean, we're still finding like sales receipts actually that are written in cuneiform because they actually, kept tabs of everything and like their sales. Like we find Yelp reviews in the form of cuneiform like clay tablets. No, I shit you not. Like we find sometimes archaeologists
One
find
star.
like, tabs.
They didn't serve me fresh food. It was cold.
Yeah, like there was actually somebody complaining about, like a merchant complaining about another guy, like a farmer he bought like grain from. And it's like, half this fucking grain was moldy. What the fuck, dude? Like, and this merchant actually writ it out in a tablet, died.
You gotta be real
Then,
angry.
Like,
Whoa, he died
On the spot.
crazy.
like later on, maybe he died, and then that tablet got lost.
Maybe not. Maybe he didn't die.
I don't know. It's modern day Jeff Bezos. Who knows? It's the same guy, maybe.
Whoa!
Jesus.
What a
Christ.
twist.
Bringing it back.
Yeah.
Wait for a callback. But yeah, we'll find them and be like, oh yeah, this must be really like powerful and significant. It's like, oh no, this is just like a love letter some teenager wrote. Okay. Huh.
Yeah, history's full of
Better
that.
than like Roman shit where like you just like look at it and it's like, oh, all this says is Septimus has a big horse cock.
Pretty much.
It's like, wow, nothing more interesting to say there, Septimus.
There's this YouTube
Glad I
series.
spent 2 years of my life.
Well, I mean, on YouTube now, a lot of these documentaries that was on like BBC America or the History Channel or all these other like crazy programs when cable was still a thing. They must have run out of copyright or something because they're all popping up on YouTube now. So there was this really good documentary series by this lady called Mary Beard, and she pretty much does research into Roman society, but nothing about like the emperors or anything like that, but like how common people lived. And she did this one episode where she was like going through a graveyard in like, I think it might have been Pompeii or like just outside of Rome, where like one gravestone was like, hey, Septimus Marcellius was a dick, he fucked my wife. And then like across on the other side of the graveyard, it was like, hey, Marcus Aurelius is a fucking cuck and I fucked his wife. Like seriously, like something along those lines. And like we're still reading it today. It was like, Facebook, but in stone.
I mean, I would do that, but my wife would kill me.
She'd be so angry. Well, when you died, she'd probably like get killed with you. So I mean,
That makes it okay.
I mean, no,
but then you'd have to deal with her
it's the
for all of
21st
eternity.
century.
You'd have to deal with her bitching from all of eternity.
I'm not
okay?
a pharaoh.
Franklin. But the point is, Zoroastrianism
It's tight.
is
Fucking tight.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
fucking
it
Freddie
does-
Mercury. Freddie Mercury was
I
Zoroastrian.
mean,
okay?
Yeah.
they're like it's,
I'm sure we could do some research that'd be
Yeah.
like,
I mean,
oh,
I know it's cool. We get it.
It's like are you, I mean, there are. I mean, there's
His
always
parents were from
challenges with any
Zanzibar.
type of religion when it's basically like be a good person and you're do good deeds and you're like yes, but what do good deeds mean? And then it's like you can come to some uncomfortable conclusions. I think like
Yeah,
the prime example was like there's a big focus on cleanliness, right? So you want to be clean, which is like that's great. Like I agree, everyone should be
Oh
clean.
yeah, there's also the water aspect
Yeah.
too.
But what,
wash
the
when I'm
bigger,
dead.
The bigger problem is like it's
They
like
can clean my corpse in the river.
well, no, it kind of then it leads into like they're like, oh, what about like when people are on their period, and it's just like, oh, they're forever not clean, so that and then people get pushed. It gets the point is
They were definitely fans. Well, I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm just speaking generally of that region.
Yeah.
History was very
it can get
much a fan of like, oh, the women go to the dirty village
Yeah.
outside the
Yeah.
city.
Yeah, because
While
they
they're
complain all the time.
dirty.
And they're
but,
dirty.
But I think that
Okay.
was like when I first looked into it, because like my previous experience with any type of Zoroastrianism was like predominantly like Civ 5 based. Like, so I was like, this is the coolest looking symbol. So that's my religion. So I mean, it wasn't. I wasn't. I
You're
just
talking about
assumed.
You get a Zoroastrian option.
You
in
get a
Civilization
Zoroastrian.
5?
Yeah.
I gotta
I'm
look
talking
this
about the
up.
man with
That's
the
a game
wings and
series
the
I've
feather
never
and the-
played.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's the symbol thing, and I'm like, this is a crazy symbol.
Shit, we didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the symbol is, I believe it's a man.
it's a
and-
dude and like huge wings.
Huge wings and
on
a tail.
Like, both sides.
And both the wings and the tail are 3-tiered. And the wings are good. They are first tier, closest tier is good thoughts. Second tier is good words. Third tier is good actions. And you can see how thoughts lead to words, lead to actions.
Yeah.
You can't just have good actions if you're inside. You're thinking like, oh, fucking, I'm gonna steal all this shit.
This should be our cover art.
Dick, I'm gonna steal this, and then you're like, actually, I'm gonna give this away to the poor. That doesn't happen.
Yeah. Also,
And the tail is bad. So
Yeah,
bad thoughts.
Yeah, no,
words,
it's an
and
awesome-
actions.
and then also the longer the beard you have, the more smarter you are.
Oh,
That
shit, I'm
I
so
know,
smart.
I know, right?
I'm the smartest person here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like us, like idiots. We've been shaving this whole time.
Fucking smooth brain, smooth face.
It looks a little.
Smooth face.
I love it. Oh God.
But yeah. So I was expecting. Like,
Yo, that's actually pretty cool.
looks
One
a
of our
little
co-hosts
Nazi.
just showed us a tattoo of the Ahura Mazda tattoo on
Yeah.
the back. Like, I'd actually get that tattoo. That's pretty cool, actually.
I mean, it's just the problem. It's just anything that has like wings has just been kind of ruined by.
By what? The Nazis?
Yes,
Okay, come
by
on.
It's a very
Ugh.
different image.
It is, but it's still.
on.
It's just like that. If you
I
don't.
don't know, it doesn't-
What about the Volkswagen eagle that you see sometimes people wearing? It's like the iron, Wehrmacht eagle, but instead of the swastika at the bottom, it's got the Volkswagen symbol. Have
I
you
don't
seen
see
it?
anyone ever wear
I
that.
have never seen
I've
it
seen
in
like
my
maybe
life, and I've
3
driven
people wear that too.
Who are you hanging out with?
I'm at the local Irish bar. Where do you think?
Great.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is that's a thing now?
Yes, no, I've seen
Like
that.
is like Flavor Flav levels of accessories?
Speaking
Well,
of the
okay,
Nazis,
I
call back because we're actually talking about the Aryan peoples, the original Aryan peoples.
Yes, of northern India or above India.
Yeah, in
Then
that
they
whole
came
general
back in.
region.
That's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
uh-huh.
And then Hitler was like, "That's cool. I'm gonna steal it and make it perverted."
But you know what Hitler did though with that symbol? He did it and he reversed it though.
Yeah.
Which, that original symbol was supposed to be like a symbol of positivity
yeah.
and peace
He
and everything.
reversed everything.
He actually reversed
He
it.
reversed
so,
a lot
like,
of shit. He stole a lot of cool shit, and he was like, "I'm gonna rule
Yeah,
this
it's
forever."
like
He reversed
yeah, the
life.
swastika,
he
Charlie
did a lot of
Chaplin's
bad shit, but
mustache.
no,
you know.
he did a lot of bad shit. That's not the worst. He did
No one is going to defend Hitler here.
If you're gonna glean one thing from this episode, it's that Hitler did a lot of bad shit.
a lot of bad shit.
No, it's Freddie Mercury, right, Nick?
Yeah,
That-
Freddie Mercury did a lot of good shit.
No. Say what you want to say about
Oh,
Freddie.
Freddie Mercury was a Zoroastrian
There we
because
go.
his parents were from Zanzibar, which is a country or island right off the coast of southern eastern of the continent of Africa, and that's like one of the few enclaves that's still like the majority of it is still like Zoroastrian.
But yeah, but I was still expecting. I mean, granted, this is like a very, very old religion, so
Yeah.
there's like
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot there. So, and a person watching YouTube videos for a few hours is probably not going to give you the best summary of everything that's going on.
We've learned all there is to know,
But I
and
guess
we're
like,
now distilling it down for you,
Yeah.
the listener.
I
Yeah, we're
would-
sucking bubbles of oxygen off the glass ceiling, and the water's rising. Okay,
I have a
we've got
book.
to the very top.
Which I've read one page of.
Yeah, you read. You read the table of contents.
Not the table of contents.
You read a random page.
The
As
timeline.
you can learn from our previous episode.
but I guess I was still expecting there to be more like kind of like wacky, creepy stuff that ends up showing up in more religions, and this was just pretty straightforward. And like I
Folks, let me tell you.
Yeah.
If you look up the Wikipedia page for literally anything else, it'll be like, hey, they were like, we're be cool. And then you read the next paragraph and you're like, but they weren't.
right, but like you think about
And then you
like,
read this and
right.
you're like,
Oh, everyone
their
was
message is
just
like, let's
kinda
be cool. And you're like, oh.
Well, probably because
next
it's
paragraph's gonna
so
suck,
old,
huh?
So like the human memory
it
doesn't
didn't
really,
suck.
humanity's memory doesn't really remember. Like maybe they did some terrible shit. Who knows? Like
You're talking about the collective unconscious there, Nick?
maybe I guess.
They
I
were
mean,
pretty good records from back
Yeah,
then.
and then kind of like kept
First rate
getting
language.
beat up and kicked out of spots because
10
they
times.
were nice to people.
Like, they were the
10
fucking
times.
Persian Empire for a long time.
Yeah.
Despite what
if the
300
religion was-
tried to teach you, actually, the Persian Empire had some fairly progressive views for
Xerxes,
they're
pretty
all-
cool. Don't play
yeah.
Scrabble with him, but you know, Xerxes
Yeah.
was a pretty cool guy.
That movie had Grossicles in it, remember?
It did have Grossicles.
Grosicles, was he like the deformed, like ugly dude?
Yeah.
It wasn't ugly. It was just
He was
deformed.
He was just deformed. He was
Yeah, he was ugly because he was
He was
deformed.
fucking sexy gross.
Yes.
I don't remember.
I
just
think,
remember him
I,
being
thi-
deformed
I
and
think in
gross.
the movie he
Yeah.
actually like Xerxes was actually like, hey, if you do this for me, like my concubines will fuck you.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, in the movie, like that
Yes,
was like
that's what
part
happened.
of the deal.
And that's how
And you
it
know, if I
ends.
looked like him and I was in that situation, I'd be ratting some shit out. And plus, the fucking Spartans threw me off of a cliff when I was a baby. Fuck them. Like, yeah, I would totally be down with Xerxes at that point.
Well, no, they didn't. That was they were gonna. Never mind. But the point is,
It's fine.
Also, I've
Franklin
only-
probably
also-
cut the episode a while ago.
yeah.
Well, I mean, we are at like the 1 hour.
Well, we can
1
make
minute
a
mark.
weird
We
noise.
gotta go back. We gotta go over so Franklin can cut it back down.
That's very
Okay,
true.
Matthew McConaughey, thank you.
all right.
We're
Yeah,
definitely going to cut
Like,
that.
I would say like
Oh
Zoroastrianism.
yeah. No, that's not funny.
So Zoroastrianism, like, I'm sure there's more like weird lore that I totally missed, but like.
Also,
it's-
this is
it's-
episode 1 of Zoroastrianism.
Yeah,
we
what-
have the
Four more.
opportunity.
3 more.
Oh.
No, 2 more.
Three.
We're doing 3.
Three.
I thought we had one more.
I thought it was
It's a 4-part. It's 4 parts.
4-parter.
four-part
Okay, it's usually
series
3s.
deep dive
Yeah.
into where we find out more about.
Well, shit, folks.
Do you remember
we
the-
have another week to do more research.
Yes,
Do you
we're giving,
remember the story?
we're giving ourselves as much time as possible here.
Episode 2 is just gonna start with our retractions and corrections.
Pretty much. Pretty
What's
much.
that called? Retconning?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that's what Franklin does. You're gonna hear me like, yeah, you know, when Zoroastrian was a totally cool guy.
It's just you the whole time instead of us.
Yeah, it's gonna be Dan's voice. Yeah, just say some words, Dan.
Words. Some words.
You're not playing into my bit.
Mr.
I'm
Funny Man.
sorry, I thought we're cutting this section.
We are.
I am so confused about what's being cut and what's not being cut.
Say some bullshit about Zoroastrianism.
So Zoroastrianism.
Was a religion founded by a
Was a
really
religion-
fat
a religion founded in
There was an-
1974
there was an
is how it's gonna
individual
sound.
Who had the
Bro.
ability.
When Franklin fixes this shit,
to
you can stop
smell
talking, and no one cares.
a new
Keegan, what do we
smell
say at the
that
end of
no
every
one's
episode?
My
smelled
name's
before.
Schmeegan.
Schmeegan, what do we say at the end of every episode?
Do your homework and go get laid. That's the advice I have.
I'm pretty sure we thank our sponsors.
We
Yep.
don't have any
This
yet.
episode was not
always,
sponsored by
Silent Cheese.
it was
Dude,
sponsored by
earlier
Silent
you
Cheese,
said it was
yeah.
sponsored by Raytheon, so I don't know.
Dude,
We won't
we
tell.
got to get a Raytheon sponsorship. He said,
I will go
really
out of my
don't.
way to get a Raytheon sponsorship. Don't worry.
Oh.
and Squarespace.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, this was episode 3 of the Fat Earth Society.
I've been James.
This is
I'm
WKH.
I'm Dan.
Schmeegan.
Oh boy.
Buy the beef.
Buy the beef.
Buy the beef.
Or Dan.